Welcome to Whiskey and Windage, the two-way podcast for the people, by the people. I'm Adam from Silver Bullet. I'm joined along with my co-host Mike from OCA and Matt from Burning Powder. Gents, how are we doing on this first week of 2024?
Doing good, Adam. Doing good, man. Thanks for asking.
Life's beautiful. Bless, brother.
Oh, hell yeah, guys. Guys, we have a great show planned for today. I'm excited. I know you both are as well. We got a new little format we're doing, and it's fresh start, new year, guys. Super excited. But with that being said, we're going to jump right into it, guys. We're going to go into some 2A news, some things that have been happening this week. And as you both know, there's been some shit going down this week.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to hear. I mean, I know the news, but I love watching soccer.
Oh, without a doubt. So, guys, this week was really intriguing. The USA Today did drop an article not just on the 2A boys, but on kids in the 2A realm, and basically, like, are we exploiting them? Are we marketing towards kids? There was a lot that was said in the article. It wasn't a bash article by any means, like maybe we thought it might have been. However, it was skewed. It did play a narrative towards what the media typically plays a narrative into, and it definitely gained a lot of traction, though, and especially on our side. I know we all commented on it, and we watched another podcast bring on the 2A boys and Keith, and that was interesting. I think, unfortunately, they did not really focus on the article enough, in my opinion. I think it could have been a better job talking about it, and I know we all did. Sorry, John.
But hey, you actually did have a conversation, if I'm correct. You had a conversation with the author from the USA Today. Is that correct, Adam?
That is correct. He did repost us on Twitter, or X, I guess. I'm still trying to get used to calling it X. I reposted a story, and interesting enough. I'm trying to see
if it's here, and it says, so just reading this real quick. I'm not going to say his name because I'm gonna mess up his last name because I can't say what I was going to normally say. But on a topic like this, no. So the day our story released on gun influencers, the folks at Whiskey and Windage podcast put out a fascinating 1 hour, 24-minute thoughtful discussion about kids, guns, and our piece. Listen here. But then he further commented, he went further into it, and he said they discussed mostly how too young is young to expose kids to firearms, which we didn't actually say that. We said it's all up to the parents. Right. And it's a kid-by-kid basis. Some kids are ready to go at, 5, 6, 7, 8, kind of like Keith's kids, and other kids aren't ready. Man, there are grown adults. We've seen some other, not this guy, but we've seen some other reporters at 40 years old firing fully semi-automatic weapons and weeping in the floor. So, that's not what we said. Next, he says, that's a little separate gun argument then. Should gun companies be sponsoring these young shooters and profiting from them? I saw today where I'm going to let you take this, Matt, but I saw today where he said something. He made that post today, USA Today did, and the two people in the background, the two logos I noticed were SIG and Daniel Defense. Now, Marty Daniel did get himself in a little hot water a year back, with that one post talking about, raise your kids right or raise them to whatever. Like, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't marketing to a kid, but it was a gun being looked like it was being handed to a child. And, I've got my own opinions on that. That's not how I would have marketed, but I don't have a marketing degree. I didn't go to school for that. I don't know the pulse like that, so I'm not the expert, but I'm really surprised that SIG was there. Matt, what do you really have to go with on this?
Honestly, like Adam said, it wasn't a bash article, and it was shedding light to people to let them know that like this type of content does exist. But the tone of the article and of the subsequent posts, like USA Today post, shared in their social media, at least on Instagram, about the article, and the vocal tone is just, it seems like it's purposefully to portray it as something scary and dangerous, and I'm just tired of, like, no matter what mainstream media says about the subject, it's like taboo. It's like, oh, like they are legal, but it's a dangerous, dark, seedy place to be, and it's like it's not all that they're portraying. And so
yeah, well, I was gonna say, us trying to change their minds, and when I mean they, I'm not trying to stereotype or put people in a group, but when 2A supporters try to talk to non-2A supporters, it's very difficult to change their mind. And I'm not saying that it's not the exact same the other way around, because it is hard to change my mind the other way when mine's made up. But the last comment this guy said was, we seem to be skeptical of corporate media, but he did go on to say, I am a gun owner, a dad, and just a dude from Wisconsin. If you have questions about how we report stories, it doesn't involve cabal meetings. Whatever. He said, I'm all ears. And so I replied back and was like, dude, we aren't skeptical of media. Like, we just don't want you to try and keep twisting the narrative. Like, we want to discuss this in a civil matter. We want to dispel any inaccuracies that you're reporting and dispel a lot of the stereotypes. And he still, to this day, has an open invite to come on to the show at any time and discuss this. And if it doesn't go the way he wants it to go, we can have a conversation about whether or not it gets aired. But, I mean, honestly, we are 2A supporters, and we are always going to be. But we're always down, Adam. We're always down to hear the other side. So, go ahead and take it back from here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the thing about it is, if you're going to be a constitutionalist, I hear that word a lot. I respect that, actually, because I do consider myself a constitutionalist. That means the First Amendment you truly believe in. And we believe that here in Whiskey Windage. That means don't get mad when someone on social media says guns should be taken. You can disagree with it, you can not like it, but don't get mad. They are allowed to, just as much we are allowed to have our freedom of speech, they're allowed to say certain things. Now, do I think that the narrative should be spun all one way when it comes to media? No. But this author, like we talked about, did admit to being a gun owner. I think that he used his PR department as an scapegoat because he knew that it was a slippery slope to be interviewed by us, but he does have an open invite, along with any other person that's anti-gun, that you don't like the Second Amendment. If you're just against good old American freedom, we will have you on. I promise you this. It will not be a attack you session. It will be, I will listen to you. My two co-hosts will listen to you out. We might not agree with you, but I will listen to everything you have to say, because that's the only way I can really ask the right questions. All we do is yell at each other and scream at each other. And it's frustrating because
you can't handle the truth.
It's true. They can't. It's
and it's true. But I mean, enough about that guy. Adam, what else we got today?
Oh man, so we do have a couple other things that are happening in the 2A news that are about to happen that I'm kind of excited about. Well, I'm excited about, but I'm not, because I had a shot to go, and now I'm not going this year. So I know, Mike, you had an option to go, and you decided not to as well. And that's SHOT Show. And what do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, dude. So SHOT Show is going to be held at the it's going to be held at the Sands Convention Center this year, January 23rd through 26th. If I were you, I would go get a room at Circa Las Vegas. I know it's cold out there. The desert gets cold, but still, dude, that sports betting at that pool is badass, so definitely go there. But other than that, everything's happening so fast on personal level with me and on my home front, and then on top of that with everything that's going on with Whiskey and Windage. In some ways, I feel like we're not growing, and I wish we would grow more. And then in other ways, we're growing faster than I ever thought we could. So it's a give and take. We're blessed either way, and we're going to keep doing it. But regardless, yeah, I'm just not going to make it to that one. The second one I do want to mention, though, is Pew Party 3. So for those of you who don't know, there was a Pew Party 2 and a Pew Party 1 if you weren't sure. But it's going to be held. Yeah, it's going to be held in Waxahachie, Texas. It is March 23rd. It's a Saturday. The ticket's a little high, but for what you get, it's the value's there. I'm not trying to say that it's overpriced, because it's not. There is a lot of value there. It's just a high dollar, but you get to go there. You get to see. You get to step up to all those tables. You get to do some shooting. There's also, it's a little vague, but it looks like there's going to be an opportunity for shooting out of a helicopter or something along that lines. If you register. Yeah, if you register early enough, there's also like a glow in the dark or UV of some sort clay shooting the night before. It's held at the Extreme Tactics and Training Solutions. Again, that's in Waxahachie. And if you want more
Waxahachie.
Yeah, Waxahachie, whatever it is. Okay. And if you have any more, if you want any more info on that, just go on Instagram and search _Jay the Shooter and reach out to him. But it's actually in his bio. So yeah, that's about it, Adam. Yeah, those are the two events coming up.
Yep, two big events. There might be some other things we'll mention, but right now I think that's the first quarter of kind of what we're looking at. So with that being said, Mike, I think it's time for our very first new segment.
Oh. Yeah, so in this segment, First World Problems, I'm going to start the first one. And, man, I'm getting on my soapbox, and I'm going to go ahead and start telling you guys what I feel. So I'm struggling right now because I ordered an SBR, and it also comes with a suppressor. I ordered this in November. I'm pretty bummed out, honestly, that it's not going to be here by Christmas. Yeah, I mean, it was ordered like literally first week in November, and it wasn't because of the ATF. Honestly, it was because it had to be built, and I got notification that it was built, I think the week before Thanksgiving, and I finally got confirmation of shipping early this week, like probably Monday or Tuesday. So it should be here just after Christmas. But again, hate it for everybody else. SOT, got to wait. But yeah, a total of 4 weeks to get my SBR and suppressor. That concludes our first segment, and it's time to get into our second segment.
No, it's not. No, it's not. What the fuck, man? You know what time it is, boys. Boys, you know what time it is. Oh.
Oh, shit. Ooh, a jam.
Love it.
It's my new favorite segment. It's time to pour it up, boys. It's time to pour it up. What are you sipping on, Mike?
Man, tonight I am actually sipping on some Stag, new Stag. Just got it. It's not Stag Junior. So this is a 132 proof, age 7 years. If you can find it, I highly recommend you get some. But yeah, Buffalo Trace Stag. What about you, Matt?
I'm sipping on some 1792.
Man,
That's what we're pouring on.
Man, it's so good.
Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 93.7 proof. Little ice.
Hell yeah. What about you, Adam?
Oh man, well, y'all know I only sip on tequila, but the special thing is my boy Willie. We call him Willie D because he loves the D. And my boy Willie got me. Yeah, my boy Willie, he got me a gift. And guys, I just want to say, there's nothing more American than this, guys.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
I love it, dude.
Hell yeah!
I love that.
Hey, cheers to Willie D.
Yeah, hey, cheers, Willie D.
Cheers, Willie D.
Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and have us a little.
Everybody!
There's
Yeah.
nothing like drinking alcohol with a glass with your picture on it. I mean,
With
that's
your own picture on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. So now that that tasted so good. So now that we've got the whiskey portion done out of the whiskey and windage, I do now think it is time for our second segment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, which is none other than
It's the 5-minute review.
Hell yeah. This week on the 5-minute review, we're going to do a quick review of my Romanian PM90 kit build from Atlantic Arms Manufacturing. I was a little hesitant about these guys because they are pretty inexpensive as far as a kit built AK goes, and so I had my reservations. But after, I haven't put a bunch of rounds through it, but about 500 rounds, no hiccups, smooth action. They nailed the battlefield pickup look. I did a full-length review on Whiskey and Windage Reviews. So hop on over, go check it out. It's got quite a few views. I tried to be real detailed about it, have some shooting footage, go over all the features of the rifle. For anybody who doesn't know, a kit-built AK, you can't just like import a machine gun from a former Soviet country. So they cut them up into pieces, cut all the main parts out of them, and then they send them over here as a parts kit. And companies like Atlantic Arms Manufacturing or smaller shops can reassemble that on a U.S. receiver with a U.S. barrel, and then sell that as a civilian legal semi-automatic kit-built AK or AKM. So I think Atlantic Arms Manufacturing did a great job. It was a quality kit. If you're into that, go look them up. I don't think they make these right now, but they've always got some sort of kit-built AK-47, AKM, or AK-74 kits in stock.
Yeah, dude, so are these things bound? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but these things are bound to all the U.S. laws where when they come in, you have to have the certain number of parts switched over to American-made parts in order to meet that importation, or does that not apply with kit builds?
So it doesn't apply with kit builds because it's not an imported firearm. So an imported firearm does have to follow 922R compliance, but when you bring in a kit and you assemble it on a U.S.-made receiver, it's a U.S.-made firearm. So not a loophole per se, but because it's not an imported weapon, it's not subject to 922R compliance.
Matt, can I say something on that real quick? So two things on that. First thing, I think you're being very humble. Your review on that on Whiskey and Windage Reviews is over 4,000 views, I believe, right now, as we stand, or it's right at 4,000. So you're killing on that review, man. That's awesome. Secondly,
Appreciate it.
I have a question about this because we said something, and I know people like to take things out of context. We said assemble. Now, some people are going to think that, I can just buy this chopped up gun and slap it together in my basement. Can you explain that putting an AK back together is extremely hard and takes lots of skill? Or am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. So a lot of people, especially in today's world, like it's pretty common for folks to do a home-built AR where they assemble all the pieces together. But an AK is it's like Legos. It's like a grown-up Lego kit, kind of. An AK is quite a bit different than that. You do definitely need some specialty tools. You need a shop press, a good drill press. You're drilling a lot of holes. You got to have different ways to press rivets together because everything is riveted to that receiver. So it's not quite the same as slapping an AR together. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm pretty handy myself, but I've never fully assembled an AK just because it takes a lot of knowledge and it does take quite a few specialty tools.
Yeah, I bet I know someone who can put one
This is
together.
my friend, Adam, and he's really cool because he is a
Gunsmith.
So, So I mean, if you're a gunsmith, you probably could put one of those together. But that would take years and years and years of training to learn to be as good as Adam. So
Yeah, you'd have to go to like a school for it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
my experience, I do want to touch on the gunsmiths, is if you are getting into AKs, you have an older import or an older kit built AK, and it needs some service, I would do a little bit of research to see who kind of specializes in AKs in your area, because it doesn't adhere to any of the, not very many of the regular gunsmith rules and techniques. Yeah. It's kind of a specialty thing. So if you need some serious work done, definitely look into it. But Atlantic, as far as their cost goes, I think they're providing a really cool quality kit built rifle for not a lot of money.
Yeah, man, I think that's great, because I also know with Atlantic, you can get some quality stuff, but you can also get some lesser expensive items. And it's good to know that they run everything, you know, through the gauntlet and make sure that, you know, they do their best to provide, you know, the best possible firearm they can for the market, so you don't experience any failures or any weak points. So
yeah,
shout out to Atlantic Firearms on that. And if you want to see Matt's review, the full review where he actually has the AK in front of him, as well as does a little bit of range time, those range times of Matt are going to get few and far between, because man, he's about to be buried in snow. But definitely check us out. Go to YouTube and search Whiskey and Windage Reviews, and check that one out, as well as all of our other ones. For those of you watching that have products, if you do want something done on a review, definitely reach out to us. Check us out. Instagram, you can shoot us a message on the Whiskey and Windage channel, or you can shoot us an email at whiskeyandwindage@gmail.com, or reach out to one of us. We'd be glad to give a review on something, talk about it. And once we're done with it, you know, if you want it sent back, just tell us where to send it, and we will get it back to you. So, Adam, you got anything else to add to that?
No, I think you kind of hit it, and that's what we're about. We're not trying to get free gear. We really want to test stuff out, and none of us here are super rich, so we can't buy everything under the sun. And you know, send some stuff. We'll test it out. Mike, it's easy to get him stuck any any firearms, because he's an SFT, FFL. But I have a connection. Matt has connections. We can get weapons sent to us and get them sent back to you, no problem.
Yeah, so definitely send us out something if you've got it. I've got a few things. Over my shoulder from Luth AR that they have sent us. I've got a Trigger Tech trigger that was sent out, so definitely got a few things we have to take a look at and review, as well as all of the other items that we do want to personally review ourselves. I can't wait to review that bad boy right there. But yeah, without I guess further ado, typically in this new format for 2024, if we do not have a full episode guest, what we are aiming to do is we are wanting to have friends of ours, whether we've met them, you know, offline or whether we've met them online. We actually want to get our friends, our affiliates, people that we have met in passing that we think need the platform or deserve the platform. Not need the platform.
Yeah.
They deserve the platform to come on and tell their story, or talk about what they feel like talking about. And that segment is actually going to be called the 2A Spotlight. And for our inaugural 2A Spotlight, we are actually going to interview the three of us, asking each other questions, and it's both questions are the exact same. It's a total of 2 questions, so it's going to be 6 answers. It's going to go really quick. But just to get this format in and let everyone know how it's going, this 2A Spotlight is going to be Whiskey and Windage. Just to make this easy, I'm just looking at my screen, and so I'll go ahead and ask questions first, and I will ask them to Matt. Matt, I'll ask you both questions. Once you get those done, you can go ahead and ask them to Adam, and then Adam return to me, and that will conclude this segment. So the first question I have for you is, as this year is ending. We're recording in 23, but when it posts, it'll be 24. Personally, for you, what is your 2A goal for Burning Powder Kicking Brass in 2024?
Man, it's a deep question. It's big. I guess really in a nutshell, like I want to continue to grow as a professional social media hype man in the 2A community. Like I don't provide a product really. I provide some entertainment. I provide a very small amount of marketing value to people.
Yeah.
I might have a narrow urethra. We don't know yet. We haven't measured. So I want to continue to grow as a professional hype man. Like I really enjoy what I do on Instagram, even though it's not really anything. Like I just love sharing pictures and reels, talking to people. Like I meet people all over the world, talking to people. I talked to some guy today from Cyprus, the little island that's south of Turkey in the Mediterranean. He was telling me about like how they everybody's required to do military service, and then they take their HK home after their service and have to show up. Yeah, they have to show up for training 3 times a year, and they assign everybody ammo and everybody a rifle. And like I have great conversations. I meet really cool people, so I want to continue that. But a big deal for me is this year I'm going to be a competitive shooter. I shot some sporting clays and a surplus rifle competition this year, but I'm regardless of if I'm good or what I'm gonna do, I'm doing some more competition this year. I think that'll help in my training. It's gonna help be able to provide a perspective here at Whiskey and Windage, and I think it'll also be a good source of some good content for Burning Powder Kicking Brass. But I want to compete.
Hell yeah, dude. And you said it would be a good source of content for Whiskey and Windage, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to segue into the second part. Yeah, you see what I did there? I'm going to segue into the second part of the question, which is, what do you want Whiskey and Windage to accomplish in 2024?
Dude, I don't know. Whiskey and Windage, we've got the potential to just freaking go. And honestly, I'm having so much fun, like, just working with you guys. You guys hold me accountable, keep me excited about grinding out this type of content. I love showing up every week for this. Some goals that I would like to accomplish is, like, I want to meet my brothers in person. Like, I want to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
Great goal.
And
Great
so,
goal.
I mean, we can think about all the goals and like, oh, I want it to blow up, and I want to become a bajillionaire off of my podcast, and I do. I would, of course, I would love that, but on a really real level, like I want to meet my brothers in person. And stand there and shake y'all's hand.
That's gonna happen. No, that's going to happen this year. We're going to like infiltrate Mike's house, and yes,
pool party, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bring it. All right, Matt. So you're up, man. You are going to be the interviewer, and I'm just gonna drink. So take it over, buddy.
All right. So we're gonna ask pretty much the same questions to Adam. Turn it over to Silver Bullet, dude. This guy's had a lot of growth this year. Came up like a freaking rocket ship, and probably one of the hardest working motherfuckers on the gram.
This is my friend, and he's really cool because he is a
gunsmith.
I believe all that about you, Adam. I do. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So I'm proud of him. I'm excited for his 2024, and I want to know, Adam, what is the goal for Silver Bullet _68 in 2024?
So surprisingly, I'm waiting for Mike to play another soundbite. I'm gonna give him a second. Okay, so okay, thanks. Surprisingly, it's part of what you guys think. It's not having so many followers. It's not engagements. It's not the stuff that you would assume. I thought about this, and really, I want to put my money where my mouth's at, and I want to go and get training and film content and like show like I'm doing it. I want to go find guys that are way better than me, and I want to go out to. I'm not going to start naming names, but there's a couple people in general. I want to go out to one or two. I want to go out and train. I want to go learn more CQB, low light, night vision training. These are things that I know of, but I want to get better at. So I want to go find the guys that are great at that. So that's going to be my goal. It really, I mean, that's that. Then also, there's also something else. I'm not going to spill the beans. Mike and Matt, you kind of know. I might be competing to get into a really cool competition in shooting.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to talk about it until it happens next. It's going to happen. I'm going to
I won't
be
tell
trying
anybody
out.
you're going on Top Shot. I won't say it. I'm joking.
Bro,
Fucking
someone's
lie.
like, he's going on Top Shot. No.
Yeah, I'm lying. So
No,
whatever.
but there is something
Yeah,
that's
on Top Shot.
Yeah,
there is
no,
something
if
coming
you really
up.
want to know, Adam is gonna. So there it is. Spilled the beans.
Yep.
Spill them. Good. I think those are good goals, bro. And like, I mean, obviously the followers, the content is all gonna come from that and continue to grow as a good, just naturally through being a badass motherfucker. So,
Oh, dude, I'm an Instagram hoe. It's
Instagram ho. Well, you inspire me. So,
yeah.
Circle back around to question number 2 then. The same question that I got. What do you
Jen
want?
Psaki.
Jen Psaki. What do you want Whiskey and Windage to accomplish in 2024?
Before you answer that,
We're gonna polish this one off, boys.
I've already refilled, sir.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, so now your answer, Adam.
All right, so what I want for Whiskey and Windage is really it's simple, and you guys probably already know this. I want us to be a legit two-way voice in the community. Like, I mean, people want to come on our show. People want, and I'm not just talking like other Instagram influencers. I'm talking about getting people that are journalists, getting people that are maybe politicians. It's gorgeous. But getting people on the show, having those cup conversations.
That's fucking perfect.
Yeah, that was perfect. But
All right.
and I know
Serious face.
Thank you. I know, Mike, I've told you this, and we've had a difference of opinion.
Sorry.
Shut up!
My bad.
Bro, kick your ass.
Jesus, that was the loudest I've ever heard in my life. God.
As I'm trying
I'm
to be
sorry, Adam. I'm sorry, Adam.
You know
Somebody was running a vacuum cleaner. I couldn't hear anything.
My bad. Hey, Adam. In 2024, what do you want Whiskey and Windage to accomplish?
Guys, I want us to be the voice of the 2A. I want to have guests on that aren't just influencers, but people that really are trying to fight for our rights. Even politicians. I would love Miss Bober to come on, but I'd also love to have Miss Native American over there come on too, or someone like that wants to talk about why they think guns are bad. And they're not going to, but there's always an open invite. And Mike knows this. I want us to be, or at least me, I want to be, because I'm cool with taking the abuse of it, because some people, I'm getting hate already. I want to be more like that.
The truth!
I want to be the Tucker Carlson of 2A. And I know Mike has a different opinion on that, but it's kind of where I want to be. And I want Whiskey and Windage to have at least a voice in this community.
That's good.
I'm done.
That's a good.
I'm done. I'm done.
That's a
I'm
good
done.
goal.
Yeah.
Mike, now that you have all the control of the voiceovers and nothing's going to happen because Mike's doing it. So, Mike, what is your personal goal? And I hope it's to break 1,000 subs on OCA, but what is your personal goal in 2024? I remember my first 1,000.
That is the sound of me waiting on 600. Fucking crickets. No, so my personal goal, again, it has nothing to do with followers because I don't care about followers. If I get a lot of followers, cool. If I don't care. I hope Whiskey and my goal as OCA is I'm not going to sandbag like a football team for the #1 draft, but I would not be upset in the slightest bit if OCA gets surpassed by Whiskey and Windage. You know, I would love it in the first quarter, but I mean, whenever it happens, it's not going to hurt my feelings, and it's going to happen. But I don't care about that because OCA started out as a platform to gain awareness for my firearms business, whether you are in the Nashville, Tennessee area, or whether you want to check out the online shop. I kind of haven't taken care of the online as much as I should have. I mean, it's still good, and it's got a lot of cool stuff on there, but there's so much stuff that I can get that I just don't have the physical time to put on that website. If anybody needs anything, shameless plug, definitely look me up because
you can provide like a concierge service almost, though. Like I'll send people your way or something. You know, it's like message me, tell me what your dream is, and let me build that for you. And that
I do that so much.
That's top tier, dude.
I'm gonna say I do that with so much. I've got probably 20 clients that call me and literally send me pictures from internet, Google, whatever, and they're like, "Hey, I want to build this thing," and my answer is always, "All right, well, do you want the quick and dirty version, or do you want me to go authentic? Like you want an MK18? Like, do you want a cloner, or do you want something? Do you want something that just gets you by?" And these guys are like, "No, dude. Every part that you can get that needs to be legit, like I want it." And it's like, I love that. So I am more of a custom build guy. I also build my fair share of, not that there's anything wrong with them, I love them, but like fair share of, Aero Precision kit builds.
Love Aero.
And I love those. But there's nothing wrong with those at all. But my goal with OCA, and I guess my personal goal in 2024, is to branch out and to meet more cool people in this 2A realm that we can do collabs with. I'd like to do a collab with someone, whether it be, it kind of bleeds into Whiskey and Windage, but Whiskey and Windage, OCA, until Whiskey and Windage starts costing me too many tax dollars and these guys have to start chipping in, OCA is going to be the platform, honestly, for Whiskey and Windage. The swag is going to be put on that website. All of those things to be on that site. And what I just said a second ago wasn't a shot. It was more of when Whiskey and Windage outgrows OCA, and has to be its own website and has to be its own entity, then that's where I take a step. We're all three in it, but I take a slight step back just because it's on the OCA platform and we're all three there, and I can focus a little more on OCA. Not that I am pushing for Whiskey and Windage to go faster, but my goal is to honestly meet some cool people and do some collabs, because we need more collabs with OCA and we need more collabs with Whiskey and Windage. So
hell yeah.
There was my fucking soapbox. So here, I'll give it to you. Just shut up. So there.
It's okay, Mike. And what you guys don't realize is, if it wasn't for OCA, Whiskey and Windage would literally never be a thing.
Not exist.
It wouldn't exist. It's impossible. So, and also, guys, like when Mike says, like, I'm not joking. There's a lot of you guys out there that talk about, I can't find this part, or I can't find this lower. I promise you, contact Mike at Over at OCA. Mike will get you the part. I'm not going to tell you, you're going to be paying for those high-end parts because they're expensive, but Mike has connections.
Harry Potter. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He'll find them.
Mike will get you the part. So say you can't find a part. If you got the coin and you want that Gucci and you're all about Gucci, from night vision to rifles to kit, he'll get you it.
I don't care,
So,
even if you're not wanting Gucci. If you live in a spot where there's lots of firearms dealers in the U.S. that is like Bill's Tractor, Farm, Grocery, and Gun. And
Yeah.
so like, and literally, and it's the truth, because I do a lot of transfers that way.
Yeah.
And these guys, it's like, you know,
I thought
they
you said you'd
carry-
never been to Idaho, bro.
Yeah, well, I bought my dad a shirt from someplace in Missouri that was britches, baloney, bullets, and boots. And I bought him a T-shirt because he saw it one day driving and had to have it.
Whatever political party's responsible for that, that's who I rock with right there. That's my outlook.
Well, he saw it and was like, this is my store. I don't even know if they sell anything else besides that, but it's my store. And I was like, cool. But those guys, like, you go in there and they may only carry one brand of something.
Right.
Or, you know, not that there's anything wrong, but you may go in there and it just may be CMMG.
Yeah.
Parts kits, or it may just be Delton, or it may just be, you know, whatever. And not that any of those are bad, but if you're looking for something different, like, let me know and I'll ship to your dealer. Like, if I have to, and if not, I'll ship straight to your house. So
Yeah.
that's it for that's my goals for OCA.
That's
yeah.
great.
So I guess let's go right into it, Mike. So what's your goals for Whiskey and Windage?
Man, the first goal for Whiskey and Windage is I challenge all of the listeners. I want Whiskey and Windage to be bigger than OCA.
That's not hard, though.
Yeah. If I had a fuck you button, I'd press it. Secondly, I want it harder than I want it to be.
You want
I
what?
it to
You
be-
want it? You want it harder?
Yeah. So no, I want it to be. I want Whiskey and Windage to make more connections. I want Whiskey and Windage to become the vision for. Oh God, the vision for Whiskey and Windage was when I first. Yeah, it is. When I first thought about Whiskey and Windage, it came up with the idea and the name and all the bullshit. Like, that was the first idea. The second idea was how. Adam, you know me. Matt, you know me. I'm a quick startup business guy, and my first thoughts were, how can I make this company Whiskey and Windage? How can I first treat it like a company, and second, how can I make it bigger than me? I want it to be. If it's just me, it's nothing. So, and I mean that in everything I do in life. If it's just you, it's just you. But
Yep.
I want the community in it, and I wanted people like Adam in it. I wanted people like the Loud Ice Matt in it. Oh, what are we drinking over there, Matt? You thirsty? Is a little water?
Little water in a jar. Ooh, dude, that made the nipples hard and shit. Ooh, god
yeah.
damn.
So, hell yeah, that's what I want for Whiskey and Windage. I want the hard nipples on Matt. But no,
Get my
seriously,
forehead
like,
glistening.
yeah, I wanted people like Adam. I wanted people like Matt. There's still there's no dangling carrots here and trying to, you know, tease people or trick people, but we have our eyes out right now because Whiskey and Windage is we want it to grow. We're looking for the next family member of Whiskey and Windage, and there are a lot of family members already that, you know, they've been
Preach.
down with us. They've been down with us since day one. But as far as on this camera, on this screen, involved in what we do, 2024, I want to add at least one member to the family. Secondly, I echo what Matt said and what Adam said will happen. I want us to meet together and do some sort of content shoot. I have a dream. I got to get some blessings said over it, but I have a dream of getting you two guys to. There's no secret. Come down here. We can definitely shoot some guns from the pool, but also I want to set up a folding table with some extension cords, all white trashy, and I want to drag computers and microphones and headsets out to my range, and I want to do a live podcast or a YouTube live from the range, and while we talk to each other, the other one's off in the background shooting some cool shit. So
Hell yeah.
I definitely want to do that. I want to. I don't know if. I hope it's Pew Party 3, but no promises. But I hope we find a show that we can all come together on and meet up and shoot some content this year. And man, I really want to meet more cool people for Whiskey and Windage. I want Whiskey and Windage to meet more cool people, make more friends, make more allies. Also, with that, I got to keep the haters happy. I want to make more enemies.
Yeah.
I want people. I want people to not like what we stand for, but not be petty about it. I want them to not like what we do and come on and have a civil argument with us. And if we do something offensive, but it's offensive, and we agree to that, like, hey, we're all about changing. We're all about. I don't want to say conforming, but we're all about.
We're growing out here, dude.
Yeah, we're all about
growing.
growth. But if I'm pissing you off just because you're mad that we live in a free country where I'm allowed to do the things that I love to do, then like you sir can suck a fat one. But yeah, for Whiskey and Windage, my soapbox is over. Whiskey and Windage, I want us to grow. I want us to go to a show and see each other. I want us to film content, and I want Whiskey and Windage to be bigger than all three of us combined.
Hell yeah. No, without
Cheers
a doubt.
to that.
Cheers to that. Fuck yeah.
Cheers to that.
So before we end this spotlight segment, I will say this. Love it. I love it. That wasn't even a sound, guys. That was not a sound effect. That was real, by the way.
That was the cork coming out of the bottle.
So, Mike, you nailed it with that last statement. We want to make friends and some enemies, but I also want to make people mad that, I'm sorry, I'll say it. If you're one of those people that just says defund the ATF, or look, yes, no one wants the ATF to be around, but they're going to be around. So if that's all you're going to do is say defund them, but you have no intelligent backing behind it, you're just as...
Be very, very quiet.
Bud.
I'm hunting weapons.
Not at all. Not at all.
No,
Have a
they're
reason.
buds.
Oh, yeah.
They're fun.
You know, because if the same, if you scream defund anything, I automatically block you. I don't care. You say defund, you have to have an intelligent argument on everything. And I think just saying F them or get rid of them, I'm not saying I agree with a law enforcement agency making laws, because they should enforce laws.
Hold on, time out, Adam. Okay, now you can keep talking. Matt's done.
Gotcha. I'm not opposed to a law enforcement agent enforcing laws. My problem is a law enforcement agency that's allowed to make laws, and the branch of government that allows them to do that is just letting them do it. So I have a problem with that, yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a real conversation. So, and if those are the you're like, we're I've heard already, well, I don't think you're truly 2A. Well, I promise you we are. We're just willing to have real conversations. And we're willing to read, just like the other side doesn't read things. Read. Reading's fundamental.
Dude,
We're gonna
if
get-
you
we're-
want to say, I was gonna say, just my big thing on the ATF. If you want to say defund the ATF, it is your First Amendment right to
100%.
for freedom of speech, and I'm
Say
glad
it.
you have that right to say it. But my thing is, right now, screaming defund the ATF is the equivalent. I'm gonna piss a lot more people off now. It's the equivalent of voting independent right now. Your words mean nothing, because they're not gonna get rid of the ATF, just like you're not gonna get an independent in the office.
But
I
Tulsi's so
understand.
great. Come on, Tulsi's so great.
Dude, I understand that. I understand we have this freedom where we can do this and have the independence and all that, but it was established as a two-party system, and it's hard enough for a two-party system to pick a winner. Obviously,
Yeah,
in
it
the
is.
last two fucking elections.
Pick a winner.
Last two elections, they've been arguing about who won it since fucking Bush and Gore, dude. It's been messed up for a while.
Yeah. Well, I think it all happened when Gore invented the internet. Remember when he said that? But seriously, if you are a Republican, or if you believe more in Republican values, or let me rephrase it, if you don't like what's happening with the administration now and you don't like Biden, shame on you for not voting Republican and voting independent. Next, and I'll say it, if you're worried about the fucking red storm that's coming this November in the elections and you don't want it to happen, you better not fucking vote independent. You better vote Democrat. Because I'm telling you.
Don't tell them that.
No, because I'm fucking telling them, like,
Yeah, I know.
man, shots fucking fired. Like, the fucking, like, the fucking red storm is coming because, like, the economy sucks. The fucking, like, the government sucks.
Red
like,
storm, baby.
There's dead Congress people still voting, evidently. Like, I mean, like, there's this. I don't know how else to put it, and if this was Republicans running it too, because you know what? Republicans have the majority right now, and I'll still say it's fucking embarrassing.
Dumb.
Yep.
I don't care. Like, Republicans have the majority, and it's fucking embarrassing. So
They don't do anything with it. I will tell you, the Democrats, when they have the majority, they do more with it. We might not like it, but they do more with it. Republicans never do anything.
Yeah, so, like, my prediction for this, though, my other 2024 prediction is just watch, like, just like Trump did. Matt, you had a car just drive by. It's an airplane.
It's a car with a busted ass muffler. It's still going
Some
by.
bitch needs to be fixed. It's
Iowa,
slow.
baby. Iowa, baby.
It might have been a
Idaho.
tractor. Idaho, yeah, you are.
I don't
But,
live in the ghetto, just ghetto adjacent, okay?
Yeah, that's cool. No, but my other thing is, like, the Democrats are going to add another Supreme Court justice before he leaves. Like, it's going to fucking
Duh.
happen. And I think this is just going to be a trend. And by the time, like, I'm almost dead, there's going to be, like, I don't know,
50.
32 fucking
Yeah.
Supreme Court justices. So, like, whatever. It's just like a fucking, it's like the honorable mention field day ribbon you get. Like,
Horse and
it's just
pony
like,
show, dude.
yeah, but shame on the independents for voting the way they vote. Again, like, you have your fucking right, and you have every right to scream it from the mountaintops. But when the vote actually matters, you
Right.
have to ask yourself: is this vote going to do anything? And if you're saying, "Well, I don't care because I'm not voting for either of them," you're doing the equivalent of not voting at all. So,
Yeah, dude, you're right. I mean, here's the thing, and this is the problem, and I've had a good friend of mine, and we argued on this, and he voted for Biden, and he's still a good friend of mine. I voted for Trump. I'll say it. And he said, I can't have a leader of this country that I don't like. I can tell you right now, I don't care. I want a leader that can lead. I do not like Trump as a person. I'll say it right now on air. However,
he's
country
probably
business-
he's probably a terrible human being in person.
But business, this country is a business. This country is a corporation, and he's a hell of a businessman, and you can't argue that. So that's where I look at it.
I don't even care if he sucked at business. I don't even care if he sucked at business. I just like his "I'm not taking shit" attitude.
Yeah, exactly. He's a leader.
Everybody's like, oh, but Trump has bankrupted a business. It's like, I want you to point me in the direction of a multi-billionaire entrepreneur that hasn't. They blame Trump's not my favorite guy personally either, but they always use the, oh, well, he sucks at business. Obviously he doesn't.
I'm telling you, I agree and align with a lot of what, I mean, he can't ever run, but I agree and align with a lot of what fucking Elon Musk says, just because this son of a bitch is like, hey, freedom, like, he's reading like freedom of speech. Well, I'm not going to censor that. I'm going to let this roll. Like, this is what the shit says. Like, we're going to roll with it.
Right.
But he can't because he's South African, which is like basically American with an accent. But whatever.
I want to touch real quick on the fact of Uncle Touchy. I want to touch real
That's
quick
gonna
on
be a soundbite.
on
Uncle Touchy's
defund
Naked
the
Puzzle Basement.
It probably should be. I want to touch real quick on everybody rocking the defund the ATF or shouting defund anything really. Like, again, First Amendment, you've got the right to say whatever the hell you want to say, and of course, defund the ATF. Of course, I don't like the ATF. Like, it's not a lie. I unfortunately have to play by their rules, but. If you want to scream that, like if you want to say defund the ATF, if you want to say the police, like what are you doing outside of that? I could almost respect what you're saying there if you were doing advocacy beyond that to actually defund the ATF. or actually change the way that process works. Like, okay,
So-
I could get behind you, but you're just gonna slap a sticker on your shit and post it on Instagram all the time, like defund the ATF, rah! Like,
Well, hey,
get
Matt-
fucked, get
Matt,
fucked.
I got a question, because I think they should modify their battle cry. I think
Yeah.
they should just be trying to remove the ATF from policing the average civilian. I've talked to Adam in depth on this.
There you go.
And the ATF is needed. Can you put alcohol into the FDA? Sure. Can you put tobacco under either the DEA, if you want to call it a drug,
Yep.
or put it under the ATF, or excuse me, the FDA?
FDA, yeah.
Yeah, fine. Now, firearms. I'm sorry, but as a firearms dealer, I'm proud in what I do, and I take pride in what I do. We need somebody monitoring the fucking people selling these things. I'm not saying we need more stringent background and all that shit. I'm saying if you don't monitor the guys who are selling the guns, some guys, money talks.
Yep.
And
Yep.
selling those guns out the back fucking door to people who aren't supposed to have them, if no one is monitoring them, is going to happen, and it's going to make the 2A community as a whole look even worse.
I can
You
agree
know,
with that.
It brings me back to the original article that was wrote that we talked about in the news about the guy talking about the kid influencers and talking about how gun companies are marketing to children. And my question for him is at me, at OCA.USA or at Whiskey and Windage or whatever on X, find me. You can scream that. But why aren't you doing research on how those kids were posting videos at their graduations wearing graduation gowns and graduation caps, showing pistols and showing switches, Glock switches? And these kids were graduating high school.
Yeah.
And they're holding pistols in a public area.
Wrong
Grant and
narrative. It's the wrong narrative.
What Grant and James do, holding it in public, yeah, it's in public, but it's on a private range that is allowed that. If the range didn't feel comfortable with a child shooting a firearm, they would tell Keith politely, hey man, it's time to go on. You know, you guys got to find a different range. We don't want that liability, and we don't want that. And you know, that's their prerogative. It's my right as a firearms dealer to turn down any sale I want. I can deny you because you have brown hair. I can deny you because I don't like your accent. I can deny you because I don't feel like working that day. So
Preach.
I can, yeah. So like, it's my right as the business owner. So if that business owner owning that property says, yeah, it's cool you shoot here, man, if he wants that liability, let him have it. But someone being on graduation property, I don't know if that's a school, I don't know if that's a public event, I don't know if that's a municipal center, but I guarantee it was fucking illegal.
100%.
But he did
Especially
not
with a
mention-
switch on the back of it.
Yeah, like regardless of the switch, but the switch was there, but regardless, like I don't see that. And in response to the kid influencers, and we talk about firearms and danger, you know, I know that he didn't mention it because he doesn't want to mention it. But if we talk about death in children, if we remove, you know, firearms from death in children, like it's still astronomically, like the percentages, like firearm deaths, you know, or deaths in children caused by firearms is minute.
Well, and that
Well,
was-
they're also
Right.
counting people from 18 to 21, from my understanding of
they
that
are
statistic.
gang members.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
They
gang
skewed it.
violence. A lot
Yeah,
of
but even with the gang violence, if you wanna just talk about gun violence in general, like they spin the narrative. Just cut
Of course they
suicide
do.
out. Cut suicide out.
Yeah.
And suicide it's the cop out. It's the easy way out. It's the cheap way out. If you're having problems dealing with something, getting through life and just making it through tomorrow, I don't fucking know you. DM me. I'll talk. I'll sit up all night with you. I
I'll
don't
talk
know
with you.
you. I don't
Same.
know you. Any of us
Same.
will.
Yep.
Any of us will. But that's no offense to you, but that's the easy out. But if they would take that out, and then if they would take out death when a firearm is present, we can count this as a homicide. You know, we can count this as a firearms death. Like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
If they would take all that out, firearms deaths would be like more people get killed by sharks in the world than like firearms deaths. So like,
COVID actually killed more people than firearms did.
yeah,
And that's
so-
just what actually happened.
Yeah. So to
I mean-
those people, we collectively say,
Shut up!
but
Facts. I mean,
Yeah.
USA Today. I'm sorry. It was a skewed stat. And guys, I've actually taken statistics in college, and once you start taking it, you realize how much BS it really is. And they teach you this. Like a statistics class teaches you, like it's complete bullshit, and you can skew a
You
statistic.
can prove it any
you can make
way or the
a
other.
statistic look
Right.
any way you want.
You do.
Yeah.
And USA Today, shame on you for that, because that was a really bad way of skewing it. Now, I'm not saying they're wrong, because they used a statistic in the way that it was measured. So they used a correct, but if they're wrong, it was wrong.
Yeah, and shame on USA
Yeah.
Today's PR department. Shame on you guys, PR department, because the reason the author of this article is not coming on,
It's because you.
per his reasoning, is because you guys won't let him. So if that's not the truth, you guys should meet up, have a little conversation, and hash that out.
Yeah.
Again, we're not wanting to argue with him about things. We're not wanting to scream at him. We're not wanting to tell
No.
him that he needs to conform to us. I literally want him to hear my side. Hear Adam's side, hear Matt's side, and I'm down to hear his side. But the reason I think he won't come on, honestly, is because I think he's looking, and he'll use this and skew it. He's afraid that he's going to come on and not have a logical rebuttal for that directive. I think he's going to say, damn, I guess that is a point. And so, like, if you look at the leading cause of death in kids, it's car accidents. Like, we're going to ban cars? No.
Technically, the globalists, we're about to eat bugs and ban cars in the next 25 years. So, yeah,
No.
possibly.
We're going to be like the Vietnamese.
Yeah. But, guys, gentlemen, I want to talk to you guys. It's about that time to wrap it up, and I want to see if you guys have any things you want to say before we do a closing.
Matt, I'll let you go first.
I have a small soapbox.
Go for
Because
it.
we were, shame on USA Today. Shame. Like, I want to say shame on society, because we have demonized firearm.
God dang, it's long.
I didn't
That's what
deserve
she
that
said.
much applause. Jesus.
I know, sorry.
Honestly, shame on society. We have demonized firearm ownership to a point where it's so taboo that how dare someone introduce this to a child. This entire modern world, this entire country was built on the back of men willing to pick up a firearm. And today's society is so out of touch with that all of our violence, all of our crime, everything is coming from a society that's unable to defend itself legally, unable to legally possess and carry firearms in a large majority of urban settings. And I say shame on society. Firearms should be praised. They should be a skill that is taught to the next generation. It's really at the core of American values, in my opinion, and we're losing touch.
Is it my turn? I don't know. I'm just sorry. Not cutting off.
Closing
Awesome.
statements, Mike. That's all I had. Closing statements, Mike.
All right. Let me grab my...
Okay, my soapbox.
Shame on the left, and shame on anybody who's trying to capitalize on the kids.
Facts.
This is going to rub some people wrong, but shame on anybody who's trying to capitalize on our children. Our children. I have a child who is 8 years old, and my child is not into firearms yet, but it's going to happen. Is it going to happen by force? Absolutely. Am I going to make her continue to be involved in that? No. But she's going to know how. I'll be damned. She's going to know how to handle a firearm, and she's going to know how to have trigger discipline and know about flagging and muzzle discipline, and at the very least the basic concept of, I don't even care about firing a firearm, unloading a firearm.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
I don't care if she's a good shot. I don't care if she's a bad shot. I don't care if she's anti-fucking.
Yes, you do. You care if she's a
No,
good shot.
no, I don't, because if she's
I'm
like
joking.
her old man, it's going to take like 27 shots, and it's cool. But that's why shotguns are made, people.
Hell yeah.
Or as us country folks say, the scatter gun.
Dirty old scatter. That my
Go
goose.
scatter gun.
Old goose getter.
All right.
But I'm gonna call out the left and the right on this, and I personally believe the Heller Foundation has good intentions, but I listened to what Autumn's Armory's dad said, and I'm not sure if I empathize with him. I don't know if I sympathize with him, but I am sure that the people over at the Heller Foundation are good people, without a doubt in my mind.
100%.
And I'm not trying to change the narrative or put doubt in people's mind. I'll say it again. I do not think the Heller Foundation people are bad people. I do not think Dick Heller is looking for personal gain. I don't think Dick Heller needs anything from anybody. I think he's good. But anybody that's trying, other than that, like that aside, anybody who's trying to use children for personal gain, shame on you. Whether it's the left, whether it's the right, whether it's free country, you can do what you want, but even if you're the parent forcibly trying to get your kid to do something, shame on you. As I said, I don't think the Heller Foundation is bad. I don't think that Autumn's Armory's father's wrong. I don't think that Tactical Mia's family is doing anything wrong. I don't think that Keith and his wife and Tactical Tootsie are doing anything wrong raising those kids or putting options in front of those kids.
Amen.
Don't get
Amen.
that twisted. But I don't like people trying to exploit our children in any way, shape, or form. So that's my soapbox. I'm out on that.
Guys, that was a great discussion. I think this was a great episode to start 2024 with. And all I'm going to say is this. If you are a journalist of any type or a news media company, you have an open invite to come talk to us. Whether you agree, disagree, want to tell us why we're dumb, why you think we are skewed, we will come. Come on. Come on. Open invite. So there you go. 2024. You have an open invite.